Hello everybody, here's Moritz Bieling again from Neufund, and today we're going to take a look at our bounty program for the ICBM for our initial capital building mechanism. Now this is another episode of the weekly podcast, so strap in your seats and let's take a look. Like many other programs and projects, we are of course also relying on the community behind this to make us successful. And of course, to do that, we would like to give the community also an incentive to join us and to actually achieve the vision we have laid out in our white paper and on our website. So when we take a look now at this, remember, this is the way that we can work together to realize the idea of making venture funding accessible and democratizing it for more and more people by way of working together. So the biggest thing first, we have reserved 3% of the NOI reward raised in the ICBM for you. So if you recall from last week when I talked about the announcement of our ICBM dates, details, etc., actually 100% of the NOI that are being generated during the ICBM are reserved for venture funding, for companies that actually you want to invest in with the funds that you lock on the platform. Now, there are one NOI is also being generated for every NOI that you generate by sending money. One NOI is generated also for Fifth Force, or not Fifth Force, actually Neufund, the platform the platform. And so 3% of that, we as the platform itself have allocated to give you as a bounty reward. So remember, this is not going away from any of your rewards, from any of your personal rewards, but it's going from the portion that we ourselves would receive from it. And we decided this because we think it's the best way to reward people who are getting in early and who are helping us to achieve this, instead of taking it from your guys' allocation. So first of all, again, a reminder, the capital building mechanism itself will commence on the 17th of November at 11 a.m. UTC. So that's the 17th of November, 2017, this year, at 11 a.m. UTC. And here are again some of the highlights that make us as Neufund different from lots of the other companies and platforms. If you're used to regular ICOs and maybe have participated in some, you will remember that many of them actually they have a coin, they send it out, you pay money, and the result is that you have that coin that maybe buys some services on it or whatever, but basically you've left your money in their hands, in their decision power, and you have no way of really holding them to account other than through the legal system, and maybe not even that, depending on the structure of the agreement. So this is a bit different for us. We ourselves have set ourselves the goal of reimagining ICOs in a legally secure, technically secure, and economical way. So one of the highlights is that companies that come to us, they don't just issue necessarily a random token that they integrate with their business plan, but they actually generate tokenized equity tokens. And so when you send your money to one of those companies, they get that money and give you in return an equity token that actually buys you a stake in the company. And that's very different from the regular ICO ritual. Now, what we're also achieving by doing this is we're connecting the off and on-chain world by bringing together blockchain technology, which has these beautiful technological advantages, and making it available, accessible to companies that are operating off-chain, that are not really business models that connect well with blockchain. So using the technology, they can actually much more economically, much more easily, much more quickly raise funds from their friends and family, perhaps. It doesn't even have to be a startup. It can also be a small or medium enterprise. And in return for that, issue equity to those investors. And that way, we hope, also contribute more to economic development of the company, or actually the economy of their nation and of the world, of course, where they participate. And then, of course, we also have this feature that whoever invests on the platform also owns the network or owns the platform. So that's actually one of our token economy principles. We want the people who provide liquidity to the network, to be rewarded for doing so, and actually to be incentivized to provide ever more liquidity to the network, so that the community and the ecosystem grows and grows and grows while staying healthy at the same time. And so actually, as a reward for doing that, people get the Neu token, which has some cool properties, which I'll go to in a second. Also, you enjoy a somewhat risk-free commitment, of course. Nothing is ever risk-free completely, but with us, you're actually just deciding whether you want to spend your funds that are locked in the smart contract yourself. We have no viable way of accessing your funds, and 0% of them go towards us. And you can actually retrieve your funds at any time. So if you decide that this is not the right thing for you in any time, but before 18 months are over, you can retrieve your funds, 90% of them at least, but you of course also have to return your Neumark. And that sets an incentive for people to actually hold Neumark over or Neu over a longer term, which is crucial for the healthy development of the platform in those crucial 18 first months. And then also you can retrieve them 100% after the 18 months are over, and then everything works as well. And yeah, the benefits from actually receiving those Neumarks and getting them are twofold. You have one, you will earn revenue just from holding the coin. So in that sense, it's a revenue token. We actually plan to introduce an Ethereum improvement proposal soon that will make this a standard. But basically what we're doing is you hold it. Whenever a startup does an equity token offering on a platform, they pay a fee in the form of cash, be it in crypto or euro. And that cash then gets distributed directly to all Neu holders. And so you being one of them, you will receive a small amount of revenue every time a startup does one. And so you also have an incentive to bring more people, more startups, more companies onto the platform and grow the entire ecosystem. The other benefit that you receive is that the Neu also represents an economic ownership of a platform pool where 2% of every startup equity offering are going into. So that pool will grow over time, and so your token value also will grow over time at a sustainable, predictable rate. All right, let's take another look. We also, of course, now should take a look at what you get and what you have to do for the bounties. So before we get there, though, we have decided to segment it into different kinds of activities. And also, the bounty campaign will end, of course, at a certain time. It won't go on past the ICBM. So if you intend to participate, you should get on it now and get going, because by 16th of December, we'll be closing those stakes, and no contributions will be recognized anymore. Also, we will distribute all bounties that you actually achieve within the first week or 1 week of the ICBM ending. So it'll take just a bit of time for us to distribute it to you and calculate all the rewards, etc. So let's take a look at the dates. The bounty campaign has already started. This is just a podcast version of the announcement already posted on Medium, as you see here on your screen. And the campaign ends on 16th of December at 11 UTC. We already talked about that. The ICBM itself starts on the 17th of November at 11 UTC and ends on the 17th of December at 11 as well. So the terms. Please, please, please join us on Slack. We want to talk with you. We want to know who you are so that we have some kind of personal relationship. For that, you can go to the link also in the description. The rewards will be distributed 1 week after the ICBM ends. They are limited to a maximum 1/10 of the whole bounty reward per participant in each category. So if only, for whatever reason, 5 people would sign up to participate in a certain type of bounty, they would still only receive 1/10. But we expect many more people to participate, and already people have signed up. So get going. And also, we of course reserve the right to remove any people from the campaign for inappropriate acts like using multiple accounts, cheating, spamming. If you lie to us, if you do bad messages somewhere, All of these things are not encouraged, actually actively discouraged. And in case we remove you from the campaign for any reason, we reserve the right to delete your stakes. So please, please, please remember, you have to act honorably and straightforwardly, and don't fall prey to this kind of Telegram pump and dump, etc. Right? All right. What are the categories and distribution? So 20% of the total bounty, which is 3% of our Neumark supply, is the signature campaign. So if you want to participate in this, you should have an account or sign up for an account on Bitcoin Talk and add our official signature to your profile there. If you want to do this, please register at this Google form here for us to keep track of everybody. And of course, we will also randomly check whether you actually have the signature in there and whether it's being displayed properly. And yeah, for every week that you do that, I think you will receive a reward. We'll take a look here. And also here's the list of all participants for you to check whether you're actually on there. Many people have asked us, hey, I signed up, am I actually on there? This is where you look up whether you are. The rules for this are that you need to make at least 10 constructive posts a week to qualify for the bounty. And this should not be, hey, check out Neufund ICO. This is not a constructive post. Please put a little bit of effort into this. So hello, good luck, love this project is not enough. They have to be at least 80 characters, preferably more. And people who have a red trust score will not be accepted. Also, multiple accounts will not be accepted. If we find out that you have been using multiple accounts, you will be suspended at once. Yes, so here's the signature. You can copy it from the post, and you will receive 5 stakes per week for holding this if you are a member or a junior member. If you are a full member at Bitcoin Talk, then you will receive 25 stakes. And if you are a senior member, hero, or legendary, you will be rewarded with 80 stakes per week using this signature. 20% of the bounty are reserved for translation and for moderation. So if you find the Bitcoin Talk announcement at this link and you know a language that is not English and hasn't been translated, which the announcement hasn't been translated into already, then you can go ahead, register at this form here, and be accepted and validated for translating it into your local or any other language that you know. Please make sure that it's actually accurately translated, and Google Translator is not accepted. So it has to be done manually, and it has to be correct. We will be checking this. Rules again, so 1 translation per participant. Multiple languages will not be accepted. And yeah, Google Translate is not allowed, or other translators also not. Then we also have another type of bounty. Oh no, the bounty for this actually is 60 stakes. So if you translate it, you will receive 60 stakes. And you receive actually additional stakes for each post you get in the thread of your translation. So if your translation is good, people will want to reply more. So do put a bit of effort into it. And you will, of course, also receive an invitation to our Slack channel, the moderator Slack channel, where we answer any questions. 30% of the remaining bounty, or 30% of the total bounty then, is reserved for blogs. And so if you are the owner of a blog, or you participate regularly on blogs with guest posts or anything like that, we will be happy to give you a stake in the bounty for writing about us. So here you have to create a post that is at least 600 words long. The better your post, the more stakes you will receive. And the rules for this are that all posts must be published online and accessible by everybody, so it can't be behind a paywall. Your post also must have original content and shouldn't be a translation or a transfiguration of existing content that we have, for example, on our blog. Please write something original, maybe do an analysis, do a review, do an interview with somebody on our team. We're happy to do that with you as well, and then publish the results. Blogs that are just established and don't have any audience won't be rewarded. So the website where you choose to publish your post must be at least 2 months old, and it should have active users. It also must contain at least one link to the website for our capital building mechanism, which is commit.neufund.org. Please make sure that you have a reasonably full understanding of the platform before you post something that is inaccurate. If you have concerns or questions, and well, as per the accuracy of your written text, please get in touch with us and we'll be happy to answer them, especially on Telegram or Slack. And yeah, make sure that it doesn't contain typos, the regular stuff, you know the deal. For that, actually, I can recommend you to download the app Grammarly, which checks your posts for grammar and spelling and other stylistic mistakes. Some ideas for posts that you could do is explaining the platform. You could outline the advantages of our ICBM over another type of ICO. You could elaborate on the highlights from the top of this post. You could discuss advantages of equity tokens, either for companies or investors or both, and anything else that you can come up with that makes sense and may even be creative. You can create some artwork perhaps and talk about that. The bounty for your blog post is 10 stakes if it's average, 20 stakes if it's good, and 60 stakes if it's excellent. So we will be rating this depending on length and ease to read and level of analysis, etc. So please sign up for that and check whether you actually sign up at these links here. And the last type of bounty is YouTube videos. So everybody knows that videos are currently the most exciting medium for communicating things. Gets the attention, holds the attention of people very easily. And so if you own a channel or are a creator of videos, you can upload one and receive stakes. So the rules for this are that it has to be at least 4 minutes long. It has to be about Neufund, or at least partially about Neufund. It can also be where Neufund is included on your regular show, at least 1 minute then. And the more views it gets and the better the video is, the more stakes you'll receive. So it has to be released on YouTube. It can't be released at another platform, and it has to be accessible by everybody. It also can be in any language. So if you're Filipino, go ahead and do a video. Yes, it can be exclusively about Neufund or just include Neufund in something regular. You need to add the link to the commit page, commit.neufund.org, to your video in your show notes. And you have to make sure, again, that you have a full understanding. We will be happy to help. Some ideas that you can use, make an explainer video perhaps about the platform, outline the advantages of it, basically the same thing that we talked about with the blog posts. And yeah, if you have questions or concerns, get in touch. The bounty for your videos, it will be 10 stakes per average video, 40 stakes per good video, and 120 stakes per excellent video. And so every 100 views earns you 1 additional stake. So once you've created the video, submit the URL at this form and check whether it's been submitted. And that's basically it. If you have questions or concerns, get in touch on Telegram, t.me/neufund.org, I believe. And that's the show for this week. See you in the next one. Oh, and by the way, PS, DEF CON was awesome. This is the shirt that I got from my teammates. So hope you were there as well. And see you in the next one.